This is a Bailey Unicorn Vigo. Just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got a jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake, and your ATC. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. On the side of the van, you have a storage locker on either side at the front to store your accessories in while you're travelling down the road. You then have your two wind down legs on either side at the front to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. These legs will just wind down and touch the ground, not lift the caravan. If you lifted the caravan with these legs, it could potentially damage the floor of the van. You then have your water pump connection coming into the side of the van. So you release the connection by pulling it out and pushing it in. You then got the cap where you lock it down in place. You've got the pickup pipe that drops down inside the water, and you need to make sure it's fully submerged prior to filling the water system up. If it isn't fully submerged, it could potentially draw air up from the ack roll and fill the water system with air instead of water. Then got your heating and hot water flue. The heating and hot water flue does very much the same job as the flue on the side of your house. In the locker on the side of the van, you've got your gas changeover valve, and then your two gas bottles, open and close on top of the bottles to open and close the gas supply. And then you have the changeover valve in the centre, which you can spin either way and point towards the bottle you want to use. Motor mover and wheel nuts. We'll demonstrate the motor mover to you here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting so you can see they've been tightened correctly. At the front of the van, you've got your fresh water going in the front, and then coming out the side of the van, you've got your two grey waste pipes where your wastewater will come out. You have two bits of grey pipe that go into these large diameter holes, and they'll drop down inside your waste master. You've then got your toilet flush tank. Toilet flush tank, you open up and you put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. Then in the bottom, you have your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling out the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees to tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid, and then you've got an orange pressure relief button on top of the cassette to tip it, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. On the back of the van on either side, you've got your two wind down legs again, just to stabilise the van. You've got your underbed storage on the door side of the caravan. Your two fridge vents, very simply been there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and to take some cool air in. And behind one of those, you'll also find a gas flue for when the fridge is running on gas. And coming down the front, you've got your battery locker with your 110 amp leisure battery in there, and your mains power lead coming into the van from the power on site. 3-pin socket coming out to your awning, barbecue gas point, and the last storage locker for the outside of the van. Coming up to the inside, you have your main control panel as you walk into the You've got your master power switch here on the top left hand side to turn your power on and off. You've got your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment. You've got your internal lighting for the caravan on the switch on the bottom left hand side. And then you've got your awning light for the outside of the caravan on the switch on the bottom right hand side. You have got some options going through the control panel: room temperature, battery voltage, and then your time on the display panel. And then below that you have your Aldi heating and hot water, which we'll come back to in a moment. First thing you need to do is fill the water system up. So underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan, you're going to find your yellow drain down valve. To fill the water system up, that valve is going to need to be flat with the floor as it is at the moment. And to drain the water system down, you're going to put it upright towards the bottom of the seat, and then you'll open all the taps up in the central position around the caravan and open them all up completely so it drains the water system down. Once that yellow valve is flat with the floor, you can open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system, as you can see here, and then you'll come over to your water pump control button just here, turn the water pump on, and the water system will start filling up. Once the water system is completely full, you'll have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan. Once all them taps are completely full, you shut all of the taps back off, and you can start warming the water on board the van. So that's where this bottom control panel comes in here. So you hit the store reset button in the center. You're going to need to turn the Aldi heating and hot water control panel on. So where it's flashing off, you're going to need to press on, and it will allow this control panel to start controlling the heating and hot water. We'll then press across to the right once it's flashing on, and then you've got your internal room temperature. At the moment it's set to 30 degrees, so we've got minus or plus to set your room temperature. Off is essentially at 5 degrees, so we're going to come all the way down to 5 degrees. And that will be the heating and hot water isolated. We're then going to come across to the right, and then you're going to turn on your hot water. So you've got hot water on and hot water off, depending on whether you want to use the hot water or not. Like I said, it will depend on whether you want it on or off or not, and it will self-boost when you are showering on board the caravan. The next symbol across you see to the right is the option to run gas on board the caravan. So you've got gas off or gas on. What this relates to is the heating and hot water, nothing else on board the van. Come across to the right again, and you've got the option for how much electric you want to run on the heating and hot water system. So you've got 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts available on this particular control panel. I'm going to set it to 1 for now because that is the power we have available on site. What it relates to is 1 kilowatt or 1000 watts. It will depend on what site you're on, like I said, to what you set this to. However, if you're not sure when you arrive on your holiday, if you ask the site office, they'll be more than happy to help you. So that is your heating and hot water control panel. Next up, we're going to come over to the fridge. The fridge is very simple to use. On the front of the fridge, you have power on. Once the fridge is turned on, you've got 3 options. So you've got the 240 volt mains, and then you've got your temperature control on the right hand side here. If you want to control your freezer temperature, you need to press the button here. So it illuminates blue, and then you'll control the freezer temperature. You then got your option to run gas for the fridge, and it will self-ignite on gas should you wish it to. If it fails to ignite, it's going to flash the red warning light on the right hand side here. And it's also going to flash the blue flame symbol. You've then got your 12 volt mode when you're towing down the road. So the 12 volt mode is very simply a call box mode when you are towing the caravan. If you haven't got the right connection on the back of your car, then the 12 volt mode will not work. It will only work, like I said, from the 12 volt supply on board the car, and you do not need to have the control panel turned on inside the door. Microwave, hob, grill and oven all work very much like your household appliances, no difference at all there. You just need to remember, if you're not on a mains powered site, the 240 electric ring will not work, as there will be no mains power coming into the caravan. The same as the microwave behind me. Now with the microwave, you do also need to remember while you're travelling to remove the microwave plate from inside of it while you are travelling down the road. So the rest of the hob, as I said, all works on gas, and the gas bottles in the locker, like I said, when you're here on site, turn them all on and make sure you're happy with everything operating. One thing I'm just going to show you before I forget to is the 240 trip switches inside of the caravan. So on the left hand side here, you'll find your test switch. So you hit the test switch. If the mains power drops down, it means you have mains power coming into the caravan. If when you hit the test switch it doesn't drop down, it means you have no mains power coming into the caravan. You've got your 240 trip switches here on the left hand side. Then you've got your 12 volt fuses across the bottom with an indicator to tell you what each of these fuses should be and what each one is for. The bed at the front of the caravan is very simple to set up. You pull out the rail from one side and pull it all the way across, and then you use your cushions from either side at the front of the van to make the bed up in the centre. Coming into the back of the caravan now, we have the toilet system itself for the caravan. Now I showed you the toilet waste cassette on the outside of the van. However, on the toilet itself, you have a toilet full indicator light that illuminates red on the top left hand side of this control panel. The electric button is for the toilet flush, just here. The toilet seat itself turns for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from the outside of the caravan, you do need to make sure this toilet seat is back in the central position. Then below the toilet you have your grey waste handle, which allows the waste into the cassette underneath the caravan. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette, you do need to make sure this flap is back in the central position. If it's not, it will stop you from removing that toilet waste cassette from underneath the van. And if you do manage to remove it, it could potentially damage the toilet waste cassette itself. So this is the Bailey Unicorn Vigo. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thank you again. Bye bye.